Hello, hello to my Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, or major Cancer placements, or just anybody watching this video. That's going to be up to you and what you want to do, but this is for Cancer. So what we're going to do today, we're getting our yearly reading for 2023 with my Kim Krans reading, as I call it, or the Wild Unknown reading. So we're going to first off start with the Archetypes deck over here and get the major theme for the year, the overall picture, the big theme, the big energy we're working with, and how that pans out will vary a little bit so far group to group. The Alchemy deck ties in a little bit with it sometimes, but then how that breaks down is changing, but it's kind of the overall lesson, the big picture here. With that, in terms of that big picture energy, the major themes here, we're also going to get an Alchemy card, and the Alchemy card is going to talk about how that energy is changing and progressing through, what energy we're working our way through, maybe what energy we're coming into from last year into this year, or towards the end of the year, what we've worked our way out of into the next energy for the new year after that. So those are going to be our two major theme cards, what we'll look at in the overall picture of your year, Cancer, for 2023. And then we're going to break it down a little bit more into quarters. And we're going to get 4 cards total with our Wild Unknown Tarot. So one for each quarter. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, and then October, November, December. 4 cards total. That'll break down each quarter. And then we're going to get a clarifying card from the Animal Spirit deck. Sometimes this ends up being advice for that particular quarter, or it helps clarify the energy of that quarter. Tying it in a little bit more, maybe with the energies of the overall major theme potentially. So that'll be how this reading will break down for us today. So let us get started. I'm excited to see, I'm a Cancer moon, so I'm excited to kind of see what pops out for this reading here. So get those guys over here out of the way, this one out of the way over there, and get started with Archetypes here. So Archetypes, that big overall major theme. Archetypes deck for Cancer, please. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, major Cancer placements. Anybody watching this video, what is the theme for 2023 for Cancers, please? Theme for Cancers for 2023. I literally left one in my hand. The Shaman. Okay. Shaman energy, so being a teacher, a guide, lots of big spiritual energy, really connecting with those deeper feelings, emotions, and intuition. Not a big surprise for Cancer, of course, obviously. So, okay, Alchemy deck next. So, Alchemy deck for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, major Cancer placements, those watching this video. How is the energy of 2023 changing and progressing, maybe in regards to the Shaman? How's the energy changing and progressing for Cancer in 2023? How is energy changing and progressing and transforming for Cancer in 2023? Okay, come on. Thinking about it. There we go. This one, I think this open, but the individual. Disillusion. Okay. Get the cards back in their box here, so that way we keep this clean. Okay, so Cancer, we've got the Shaman and we've got Disillusion out. So the energy changing and transforming, disillusion energy, dissolution, and then the Shaman as our major overall theme and the energy of the year. So let's get a little bit closer look at both of these cards here. So for you, Cancer, for 2023 here, no surprise for this disillusion energy coming out here, right? Really diving in deep to emotions, the formlessness that happens when diving deeper into these emotions, right? Disillusion energy talking about adding, like putting ourselves into water and letting ourselves dissolve, right? Letting our ego dissolve, letting our fears dissolve, our boundaries that we keep ourselves in, our barriers that we keep ourselves in together, right? That disillusion energy, letting things just not quite melt isn't the right word, but dissolve, of course, and dissolve away, so we can just really get back in tune with the core here, right? This core, the birds diving into this core of this water here, these deeper emotions, the ocean, that really deep body of water in whatever capacity that is, and diving deeper into that and really just letting it all go, kind of. That's kind of the energy here. And that is mirrored with the Shaman card as well. Our Shaman energy here, the theme for the year, really talking about the knowledge we possess, the abilities we possess, the skills we possess, and being that teacher, that leader, that guide to many others that are on the same path that we are, right? Shaman energy, of course, really highly spiritual energy, but also energy of self-discovery in a lot of ways, and energy that we are initiated into in order to help others as well, right? There's a process of studying and learning here, doing the acts, doing the practices, going through the movements, the motions of whatever that skill set is, right? And then really offering that knowledge to others and being in a almost higher space, right? A state of flow, a state of movement in that space where we are the ones who are losing ourselves almost in it, right? We dissolve into that energy. We dissolve into that skill set, right? We dissolve into the abilities of that skill set and being the ones to show the magic of it, right? Shaman energy, very highly, that's the other words for the shaman are like the magi, the magician, those kinds of words. So heavily whatever magic means to you, but it's a type of energy in its own right. It's an energy of diligent practice that's been happening, whatever you've been studying and working towards for a really, really long time. That's a shaman energy coming in. And with it, knowing yourself to a deeper level, right? It being those skill sets and the knowledge you have being almost more a part of your identity and who you are, dissolving into this archetype here versus the other way around, it being something you do. There's a difference here that's a little bit hard to explain, but with this shaman energy here, there's a deep call that is for deep knowing of ourselves, right? The shaman knows just as much the light as it does the dark. It knows so much its light side as it does its shadow side. The shaman energy here, really knowing every aspect and piece of yourself down to these deep core levels, and even putting yourself in the situation where it all dissolves and goes away, and then figuring out what's still left or what it truly means to be a part of this whole, okay? So really almost it's kind of woo-woo energy a little bit here for us, Cancer, in 2023, but it's like a deep spiritual lesson, a deep spiritual call that is going to be under the surface in a lot of ways, right? This disillusion energy here, this change and transformation, this dissolving of an old self and discovering of a new one, right? This is part of that initiation process of the shaman. So let's get into the breakdown of the year here. It's going to be more important, and I think will give us a lot more clarification for how this energy actually looks in a more physical, real way. So let's grab the Wild Unknown here. Wild Unknown for my Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, major Cancer placements. What is the energy of their first quarter for 2023? January, February, March. The energy of the first quarter for Cancers, please. Too many cards. There we go. Thank you. How do you want that? Going it? Nope. Come on. Okay. That will go towards you. So that is an upright 7 of Wands. Okay. Energy of the second quarter, please. April, May, June. Thank you. More Wands. That is the 4 of Wands in the upright as well. Okay. Third quarter energy, please. July. Thank you. August, September. And that is the Devil. And then fourth quarter, October, November, December, please. Okay, we are a little too enthusiastic right now. Hold on, calm down, please. Okay. Get these straightened up here. I can see it in the camera. These are not straight and it bugs me. Better, a little bit better. Okay. Okay, fourth quarter energy, please, for Cancers. Fourth quarter, October, November, December of 2023, please. Take that top card, the World. Yeah, I think so. Oh, the Wheel of Fortune. I always get those ones mixed up, the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so heavy Wands energy in the beginning of the year, just off the bat here, 2 Wand cards, and then we have Major Arcana at the end, big energies here, Cancer. So of course that makes sense. That kind of ties in really with this bigger spiritual energy of the shaman card as the theme energy here. But let's get some clarification now with our animal spirit deck. Okay. Animal spirit deck, please, can you clarify or add more information to the Seven of Wands? What do we need to know about the Seven of Wands for first quarter for Cancer? Okay, that's fell on my, oh, nope, 2. I'm not going to take it, has to be 1, please. Still too many. You're getting excited now that we've gotten into a few readings now. Okay. For Cancer for 2023, please. Clarification on the Seven of Wands. Clarification on the Seven of Wands, please. Saw the spider there. Okay, there we go. Thank you. The black egg. Okay. Clarification on the upright Four of Wands for second quarter, please. Scorpion. Raccoon. Third quarter, please. Clarification on the Devil. Thank you. Dragonfly. Perspective. Interesting. Okay. And then finally, clarification on the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. The Peacock. Okay. So my Cancers, interesting spread here. So we've got the Seven of Wands clarified by the black egg. We have the Four of Wands clarified by the Scorpion, the Devil clarified by Dragonfly, and then the Wheel of Fortune clarified by Peacock. So let's get a little bit deeper look now at everything. For the first quarter of the year here, Cancer, right? So we have the Seven of Wands with the black egg. The Seven of Wands here being the courageous energy, the energy of standing up for ourselves, having confidence in ourselves, having confidence in the situation, and knowing that we're doing the right thing, knowing that we are doing what we need to be doing, that we are on the right path here. And this is clarified by the black egg, which these actually really tie really well into each other here. The black egg tying into our throat chakra here. The throat chakra, the 5th chakra. I got confused with the 6th one for a second, but that's the unicorn card for the spirit cards. These ones are the spirit cards here within this animal spirit deck specifically, but the black egg representing the 5th chakra, our throat chakra. So speaking our truth, right? Speaking our truth, being truthful to ourselves, what we need to say, what is important to us. And this ties in heavily with the shaman energy, right? Where it's like, okay, this is what's going on. This is how the world looks to me. This is what is important to me, what I'm paying attention to. In terms of just like spirituality, right? This is where it's like, okay, hey, this is my spiritual beliefs. This is what I believe in. This is what I care about. This is what makes sense to me. Us who watch tarot videos like this, right? Tarot videos where it's like, okay, hey, we maybe are leery to say this out loud, right? Or it's not something where I personally always say, where like I make tarot videos on YouTube, but there is an importance here of standing up for ourselves and speaking our truth and knowing that this is important to us, being this guide, this shaman in this way and this purpose to show others why this is important to us, why it makes a difference for us, why it resonates with us, why it is we use it in terms of guidance for ourselves, right? We know at the end of the day, it's like, okay, tarot's not the end all be all, neither is anything. Astrology or Reiki or any of those spiritual practices, they're not the end all be all, the only one, the truth, right? Quote unquote truth here, but they do give us ways to interact with ourselves at a deeper level. They give us ways to interact with others in a deeper way, to understand others, right? We don't use it as an excuse. For example, we don't use an excuse where I'm like, oh, I'm a Cancer, I'm super emotional, so don't be mean to me, right? Where it's like, that's not the way we do those things. We have this energy around us, and if we're in this shaman energy here, right, we're taking our ego out of it, right? We're making sure that we are holding ourselves accountable to the situation, knowing our light and dark side, knowing who we are and our positive and negative aspects. So in the first quarter here for Cancer energy, it's really calling to be like, hey, you're the light in the dark here. You have to be courageous. You have to be the one who is speaking your truth, whatever that may be. Maybe you feel called to start a YouTube channel like this, potentially Cancer, or you have another aspect or another skill set that you are trying to offer the world here in the shaman energy. So the black egg really calls you to speak that truth, to be in that truth, be part of that truth, be true to yourself, and then be able to communicate that to others as well. So an aspect of courage here being knowing that you are the only one who is lighting the way here. And while that is heavy is the head that wears the crown, right? And you're still the one who has the power at the end of the day, and that it feels awesome and you're that leader, but there is so much stress and pressure with that as well. So that's why there's courage needed here. That's courage in the first quarter of the year for this energy moving forward. Okay. Now into the second quarter, we have the Four of Wands. More wands energy, more passion. The wands here representing that fire, that creativity, the suit of fire in the tarot. The wands being that suit here, and clarified by a fire card of Scorpion here. In the second quarter here, Cancer, there's an opportunity to work with some of your shadow energy a little bit here, right? So Four of Wands is celebration. There is something that came to a head here that we figured out, that we're like, okay, I finally got it. I finally am situated here. Maybe you got that raise or promotion, or you got that new job, you finished that project, something to celebrate about, right? It's like even things like you got engaged or you got married or had a baby, those kinds of things, right? But with Scorpion coming in to clarify the passion energy here, there can be trouble with too much of it, where we can get a little bit too far into it, right? Too much fire, too much passion, where we maybe get a little egocentric, we get a little bit cocky, or overconfident, we get a little bit cocky, we get a little bit, what's the right word here there's a word I want specifically for this. But either way, our ego takes over, and potentially in this case. So we have to be very careful with that, right? Where we're not stinging others in the process of celebrating our own wins. We're not trying to make others jealous, make others envious of us. We're not showing off what we have. We've worked hard, of course. We've worked really, really hard to speak our truth, to work into this energy. We have this skill sets that we are trying to offer to the world, right? But we're trying to do it in a way that is still humble at the end of the day, that is still leading in a proper way, that is working with the energy. Somebody who has, like, you think about somebody maybe you admire, right? Maybe they have lots of money, or they're very smart and skilled and everything, but do you want to be humble at the end of the day still? We don't want to be arrogant. That's the word I wanted. We don't want to be arrogant with this energy, right? We have this celebration here, all this happy, positive energy we're coming into, right? But we also want to make sure that we are not hurting others with our arrogance, being like, oh, look at me. Hey, I did this. I accomplished this. That's where we're getting into like that fake woke energy, right? Where it's, in terms of spirituality, there's lots of false spirituality practices or ways people interact with spirituality that is for, I don't want to say for profit as in a negative way, but it's a way where it is arrogant and egotistical, right? Or it's feeding their ego. It's not for the service to others, helping others, right? This is where dissolution comes in, where we're dissolving that ego. We're dissolving the calls for that arrogance and trying to make others envious and jealous of us. We're dissolving all that energy away, really just diving into the spirituality, the emotions, the deeper creativity, and being able to stay humble and part of the collective through this energy. Okay, so there is some challenge here that pops up in the second quarter. It feels like Cancer with this Four of Wands, where it's like, okay, you want to celebrate, of course you do. There is energy where it's like, okay, I've accomplished this thing. I've been wanting to do this thing for so long, right? I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to be happy about it, right? But we do need to stay humble through this process as well. We don't want to be arrogant and egotistical through this process just because we finally accomplished something, right? We want to still be kind to others, generous to others, considerate of others through this process. Will be people who will be envious regardless, no matter what we do, because others that are too scared to do the things that you're doing are going to have that envy for you in your situation, right? But that's not a opportunity for you to rub it in their faces even, right? You can still come to people, go around those people with grace and give them grace and understanding without you losing anything yourself, right? Okay. We don't want to, of course, we don't want to lose power, lose energy in those situations, right? But we don't want to feed their pain either. So there's a balancing act here, it feels like, in the second quarter, Cancer, where it's like, okay, celebrate. Yes, you deserve it. 100% you deserve it, but stay humble through the process as well. And with Scorpion staying in the positive, right? It's that fiery, passionate energy that you can use as you progress forward, as we keep moving forward, right? So then it's interesting to see how this energy moves forward as we get into the third quarter here with the Devil and the Dragonfly energy. Into the third quarter here, Cancer, there is another challenge. Not a easy year for sure in some aspects, but the way things progress, the way we can look at things and interact with them is going to be super important through the year, Cancer, as we move into the third quarter here, with the Devil being the major energy of July, August, September, and then Dragonfly clarifying it, right? So you're kind of around your birth time, right? In July, a little bit of June is here, but then mostly July. We have the Devil, the Dragonfly, and Devil really talking about that shadow side again, right? We're coming around back to that shadow side, that shadow aspect of ourselves, the negative aspects of ourselves, with what the shaman is asking you to confront and look at and know at a really, really deep level, right? And again, working through those barriers, those restraints, those chains you have on them, and with them comes dissolving that ego, dissolving that fear, right? This disillusion energy as well being present here. Dragonfly really asks us to look at things from another perspective. Dragonfly has lots of light energy to it, so it's a great counter for the Devil in this case. But the light and the aspects of light that Dragonfly brings is a perspective shift. The energy of Dragonfly is kind of a magic energy where it's like, okay, hey, it's moving around. The light refracts in different ways and has you look at things in a different way that you might not have perceived them before. And with the Devil showing up here, the Devil in the upright especially, that is our shadow side, those negative aspects of ourselves, those things we don't like about ourselves. And something I've said, and I don't remember where I heard it from initially, is usually our greatest strengths are also our greatest weaknesses. The thing that is the thing people like about us the most, or that is our strongest trait, is also our shadow trait at the same time, right? So every aspect, every trait in ourselves, somebody who is highly empathetic, right? Somebody who knows lots of people, they can feel people's emotions, right? And can interact with those emotions and can really work with people and help them understand themselves. Can, on the flip side, if we're in the negative, then those shadow aspects of it can be super manipulative at the same time. It just depends on what the overall goal is, right? Is this for in service of others or in service of self? If it's in service of self, that's when we're manipulating people and using the advantages we have for their emotions and knowing what they're feeling over themselves and manipulating them into the spaces we want in order to benefit ourselves, right? Or if we're serving them, serving others, we're taking care, helping them understand their emotions, helping them cope through their situations and heal and progress, right? So the Devil energy here, since the overall theme we're looking at is the shaman, and we are discovering more about our shadow self in the third quarter here, Cancer. We're looking at those darker aspects of ourselves, the negative traits in ourselves that we maybe don't like all the time, or we know we're not always a good person with, and we're trying to get a new perspective on them, right? Why do we do those things? Where is the fear in those situations? Why do we do those things? What are we trying to protect ourselves from, right? Excuse me, humans do things that work for us, right? So we are always doing something because it works for us in some capacity, whatever that may mean, right? Whether it's trying to keep us safe, it's trying to keep us emotionally secure, right? It usually comes from a place of fear, a place for the need of safety in some capacity because we're fearful of something. So we're looking at that Devil energy here, looking ourselves in the eye to the deepest level, all aspects of ourselves, from the very, very light, flighty, magic energy that is here, and then to the deep depths of our soul, the negative things, the ways we are mean and egotistical and arrogant and mad at the world and cause pain to others, those pieces of ourselves come out with the devil, and we're trying to get a new perspective on that. Look at everything from a new perspective, a new lens, dissolve the ego in this case, dissolve those fears and those chains that are holding us back. And that's how we really truly get into this shaman energy here, Cancer. That's how we truly get into this energy of a deep self-knowing, a deep knowing of ourselves, who we are, what we stand for, what we do, and how we react in any given situation. And that is the ultimate teacher, right? The ultimate wise sage, magi, shaman person, that medicine man, medicine woman, whatever that might be in your culture, in your life, that teacher, that others in that same capacity, right? In that same vein, that like minister, reverend, the Pope, those big energies, that's this shaman energy here, okay? And that only comes really in a completely true understanding way, knowing it completely and truly by knowing our dark side too, right? Knowing this devil energy in each of ourselves, in ourselves, and who that is to us, who we are to others, how that energy is perceived and received and interacted with, okay? So third quarter, interesting energy for sure. So around the birthday time, probably here and a little bit after, where it's like, okay, hey, what's going on? Who am I? Just coming into knowing yourself at a really deeper level than you maybe did previously here, Cancer, okay? Understanding yourself because you are dissolving those barriers that were in place that you had before and coming to understand yourself in a much deeper level, okay? And then we move into the fourth quarter here. And a great energy to kind of finish out on with the Wheel of Fortune and the Peacock energy. Much lighter, not quite the same challenges that we were having before, right? So it's like, this is a less like, speak your truth. They're learning the lesson of speaking our truth and having confidence. Okay, don't be arrogant. Stay humble despite you having opportunities to celebrate. Look at yourself in the eye, those deep, dark aspects of yourself, those negative traits of yourself. There's like 3 separate lessons here is what it looks like so far, Cancer. And then we come finally into the fourth quarter with the Wheel of Fortune and the Peacock. So in the fourth and final quarter here, Cancer, I want to actually read the description here for Peacock. Let's just straighten out just a tap. There we go. Okay. I think this description for Peacock, this phrasing right here really ties it up, right? So the Peacock type is extremely rare. Not many of us has reached this advanced level of acceptance of self and others. That is the ending line here for the description of the Peacock in the Animal Spirit Guidebook. And that energy is super unique, right? The energy of the peacock energy here, the acceptance of others, the inner beauty into outer beauty, and the shaman energy is a rare energy as well. I think the peacock here really finishes and ties up the energy of the shaman here, right? It's like, okay, lesson learned, lesson learned, lesson learned. Okay, and we have completely changed our fate, our destiny here. Big energy here for sure, Cancer, right? The Wheel of Fortune talking about our destiny, the wheel turning, moving through life, the change of fate, the change of destiny, right? That wheel, all of a sudden it's like, oh, we have learned something new, we've come into this new energy, right? And now our path is different, our path has changed. We have leveled up spiritually in a lot of ways here, Cancer, through 2023, it looks like. And with it coming into a unique understanding of ourselves and therefore others. We can see the mirror of ourselves in others, that what we mirror to others themselves, what others are learning from us, and what we can learn from others as well. And that is shaman energy at the end of the day, right? It's what the end of the year is showing for the fourth quarter here for you, Cancer, is like you figured it out. You understand. You've understood the assignment, to quote. And you've learned the lessons that were in place here, and you should have by this point assimilated those lessons, right? Peacock really talking about being able to digest and assimilate everything together and have a greater understanding of these situations, right? And dissolving it all together in one go into themselves, into who you are, and taking that understanding with you as you keep moving forward through life. That's also the shaman energy. You've accomplished and come into the shaman energy finally, right? Having that, learning things, developing that skill set, and then being able to offer to others and understand the bigger and deeper nuances of a situation, of others that you're encountering, your friends and family, and even co-workers and strangers on the street, having a greater understanding of what they are offering the world, what lessons they are learning, how you can help them, how you can be of service to them, what you can learn from them yourself as you continue on your own journey, and your own wheel here keeps turning, right? As that energy keeps progressing and keeps moving forward. This shaman energy at the end of the day, as it's tying back into the Wheel of Fortune here, is an energy that never finishes. It's an energy that we keep learning and adding and growing into, and we keep adding to it itself, right? We can always learn more, we can always understand more, we can meet more people, we can visit more places, we can come into new energy all the time and assimilate this energy, digest this energy into ourselves and our understanding, and keep building it, right? At the end of the day here, this disillusion energy, instead of being the one that is dissolved into the water, we become the water. We become the water that everything else is dissolved into. And it really comes full circle here, Cancer, with a greater understanding. I mean, what better what better sign for me to call being part of the water, being the water, than a Cancer sign, right? The other water signs as well, maybe, but Scorpio and Pisces, doesn't work quite the same way, being in that water in the same capacity, and it'll look very differently for them. For the shaman energy here, this disillusion energy, we are becoming the water, we are becoming the thing that the things are dissolved into, and that is the shaman at the end of the day as well, with a greater understanding of spirituality and practices and others, and how others interact and learn with us, and we teach them and how they teach us, and the give and take of that energy here is going to be super important to pay attention to. So this is going to look very differently in your life depending. I can blanket a little bit more, of course, because you're here watching a tarot video, right? You have a basic understanding of some of the same spirituality that I do as the fellow Cancer in this reading, with a Cancer moon here, and others who watch tarot and have this understanding, right? What shaman means in this capacity is probably going to be a little bit more similar for those watching this video than if I were to explain this energy to somebody who has Cancer placements that doesn't watch tarot videos, right? The understanding here is a little bit different, but that is part of the process and the learning here, right? That is the process we are diving into, learning about, and interacting with. So for us Cancers, Sun, Moon, Rising, major Cancer placements, those watching this video, it's going to be an interesting 2023 here. We're learning a lot. We're going through some major lessons, but it is helping our overall understanding, our overall development and growth in a deep spiritual way. And that is exciting. That's exciting energy. It offers new perspectives and gives you new opportunities to grow in a way that you maybe didn't realize was possible before, or just knowing that you always have the ability to grow and change and look at things from a new way, a new perspective, and digest new ideas and energies in consistently throughout your whole life, right? Once we are in the shaman energy, initiated into the shaman energy for the first time, it never leaves. It's an energy we are always a part of, and we always keep growing in. So 2023 is going to be a very interesting year. I hope you have a wonderful year, Cancer. I'm excited to join you in it and see how this year progresses and how this energy looks. Feel free to come back to this reading, right? Pay attention about every quarter and see what's come up for you, what's going to come up. Look at the previous quarter and see if the individual readings for the quarters made sense, if there was a lesson that tied in with it. I'll be doing that myself as well. So I hope you have a wonderful year, Cancer. I hope you have a wonderful 2023 and have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you in the next reading. Bye.